So Camp Cretaceous Season 5's full trailer has now released, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend going and checking it out because there's so much information we've got to talk about, such as what is that mystery dinosaur we see in the trailer. Well, we've got that solved. Dave and Roxy's official return for Season 5, which we've also got that officially confirmed as well in this video, and lots of other things. Bumpy being mind controlled with more proof and evidence. Right, let's get straight into it because we've got lots to cover. So hello everybody and welcome to today's video with me, Shadows, where we're going to be talking about so much in today's video. We have solved the mystery dinosaur at the end of Season 5, and that's the first thing we're going to cover. We're also then going to go into Dave and Roxy officially being confirmed for Season 5, although we don't see them in the trailer, but I'll cover that as well. And then we'll also talk about Bumpy being mind controlled, because we know she's back in Season 5, and we actually have a scene which could show that she is indeed being mind controlled, just like one of our previous videos. A lot of this we've already covered prior to the release, believe it or not. We've called a lot of things, but first things first, what is that mystery dinosaur we see at the end? First things first, a lot of people thought it was a plesiosaur, believe it or not, and it does look like a plesiosaur in some frames. Like in one of the frames where Kenji grabs Brooklyn from, looks like a sewers. You can see like the neck and some flippers, and it looks to be flailing round, but it isn't actually a plesiosaur. A lot of people are saying it's the baryonyx or the spinal, but no, the neck is too long. But it isn't long enough to be a plesiosaur, but it is indeed a Northosaurus, believe it or not. And is there any proof or anything to show that this was actually in the Jurassic franchise? Well, the Northosaurus was actually in a Jurassic Park game, and that was for the Master System and the Game Gear systems, and it actually appeared as an enemy in this Jurassic Park game. Now that's the only mention of it in the Jurassic Park franchise there, that Northosaurus, but it definitely looks like that because the flippers have some type of hands, it looks like, so they're not completely flippers and they're not completely hands, they're like amalgamated between the both. So I think what we actually see is the Northosaurus, and it'd be cool to see that in Season 5, and it's a lovely aquatic dinosaur rather than just the Mosasaur. We'll now have this Northosaurus, which I think will be really cool, or Northosaurus. I'm looking forward to that. Which then brings me on to the next point of Dave and Roxy officially being confirmed for Camp Cretaceous Season 5. And yes, again, we speculated on this, we called this a while back, but we have it officially confirmed in an article from Entertainment Weekly saying that the two actors are scheduled to return for Camp Cretaceous Season 5, and you can see it right here on the screen. Thus, that's telling us that Dave and Roxy are going to turn up on the Manticore Island. That to me is going to be their way off the island, and they're obviously going to land there via boat or helicopter. My guess is boat, because we see Brandon Bowman in the initial teaser land on the Manticore Island via the boat, and that's where I think Dave and Roxy are going to be with him, and that is how he's going to land on there. But if you want the full breakdown, I recommend checking out these videos on the channel because they'll have all the information you need. Now next up, we're going to talk about Bumpy being mind controlled and how she is indeed mind controlled in Season 5. Well, we've done a video on it here, but this is more, we've got more proof that Bumpy is indeed mind controlled at some point in Season 5. Now we see at the very start of the trailer, about 30 seconds in, Ben and Bumpy, and Ben is riding on Bumpy just like he does in previous seasons, which is lovely to see. But when you see Ben initially see Bumpy, she's got that very gaunt stare, doesn't reciprocate seeing Ben, as if she's like mind controlled herself and her brain is dead. She's got no emotion in that little huggy scene with Ben. So I think she starts out being mind controlled, and somehow they turn that off or break that mind control chip to free her from the control. And I think that's how we're first going to see them change the dinosaurs from this brain chip scenario, because this is obviously what the season's going to revolve around, which is saving these dinosaurs from this horrible mistreatment of them being controlled. Because we know Kenji's father from the trailer is definitely controlling these dinosaurs. He uses a little control pad and he controls these dinosaurs, and he tells Kenji that he is indeed helping the dinosaurs somehow, and Kenji seems to believe that. And again, this is something, I keep saying it, this is something we called in previous videos where Kenji is actually going to go and work for his father, and again we knew that was going to happen. But yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Kenji's father is going to be tricking Kenji into joining and siding with him and not with the campers, because the campers definitely want to save these dinosaurs from this brain chip control, because it's unethical and it's not what the campers agree with. No one wants to see these dinosaurs controlled. We also see the T-Rex chained up, which further cements that they don't care about these dinosaurs. You know, I think it's Big E.T. which we see chained up, and it's horrible to see, and it shows that they're mistreating and just abusing the animals. You know, call the RSPCA on them. There's also huge hints to the Spino versus Rex rematch, and when I said that on Twitter, a lot of people were like, no, that's not gonna happen, no. But we clearly see that they're at some point in the same frame, which hasn't happened in over 20 years since Jurassic Park 3. So we see the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus in the same frame, and we also see what looks like a battle arena screen, where it's kind of like Street Fighter-esque, where you see like health bars on the top there, and you see them both together, and it's kind of like I said, where you have one face off against the other, which could hint that that rematch is indeed incoming, although a lot of people, I suspect, will not want to see that rematch. Interestingly, in the trailer as well, we very rarely see the Spinoceratops, but in fact we only see it in one short clip of roughly around 2 seconds with Yaz, and that's the only time we see them Spinoceratops. So what a lot of people are wondering, what is actually going to happen to them as well. I've got a video on that, so I'm not going to go into lots and lots of detail on what happens to them, so I suggest checking out my channel and looking at all them videos, because there's plenty on there. We also got hints of the fact that the Endoraptor could turn up, along with a lot of other dinosaurs which we could see turn up, because we now know this new aquatic species. The chances are it could be a Spino, it could be a Barry. It doesn't look like a Baryonyx to me. It could very well be a Spino, although the angles are not showing it, but it definitely looks like a Nothosaurus, which them flippers show, them flippery hands type of things, is pointing towards that. We know the end scene where Darius is standing there is definitely the Spino in my eyes. I think it's just the angle of where the Spino is hunkering over the top of Darius. Don't think that shows a new dinosaur as such, but we definitely need a lot of new species in Camp Cretaceous Season 5 to keep that element of something feeling fresh, discovering new dinosaurs and keeping things new and fresh, because there's always been a new dinosaur, and in every new Jurassic Park / World movie they've always introduced new species and new dinosaurs to keep it feeling fresh, and that is in every movie. So I'm assuming they're going to do the same for Season 5, and don't forget we've got the linkage to Dominion in Season 5 as well. With that Barbasol can, we're going to work out how they've actually got the Barbasol can from the original 1993 Jurassic Park, and how it's going to end up in Jurassic World Dominion with Dogson. So we know that that's going to feature prevalently as well. We don't even see Cash in the trailer, so a lot of people are wondering, where the hell is Cash? Well, obviously they're going to keep some things secret, such as Dave and Roxy, Brandon Bowman, a couple of suspense new dinosaurs. They're going to keep some things secret, and I like that. I don't want to see it all in the trailer. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, hit subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons for helping support these videos. Make sure you check out my Patreon, because it does really help support the channel and make these videos possible. So thank you, patrons. I've also got a merch shop, so check out the merch shop. There's some great designs on there. I really like them designs, so get on there and check that out. Thank you very much. I'm Shadows. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Go watch another video on my channel right now. Go and do it. You won't be disappointed. Cheers now, and bye-bye.